What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Undergrad Forum. Now, in this episode, we're going to talk about some of the aspects of what you will need as a third-year medical student to do well in your rotations. We'll talk about simple supplies you'll need to have on you, how to present well, how to see your patients. Each of these will be a video. Today, we'll talk about what do you just need as a third-year medical student that you didn't really need during the first 2 years. First thing, you had this during the first 2 years. I made reviews before. It should be pretty obvious. You're going to need your stethoscope. There's no question. You're always going to have it like around your neck when you walk around. I keep it in my coat pocket because I don't like it around the neck. But you're always going to need a stethoscope. This is the Liftman Cardiology 3. I've made like 2 reviews on it by now. And with the bell and the diaphragm. Excellent stethoscope. Most medical students will have this one, you'll notice. Some will have the electric one, but for the most part, you won't see anything lower quality. I think the Cardiology 3 and like the Cardiology Master and the electronic one are the 3 main ones you'll see on the ward. So link below if you want to check them out. I got them all listed there for you so you can see them. So that was an obvious one, stethoscope, right? So what do you need next? This is also kind of obvious. You're going to need a pen light to some type. You can have these like disposable ones that kind of work like this, but you can kind of tell it has like a yellow hue to it. These are fine, they're disposable. I have a few of them, and you can also have like a nice one. Like I have this like nice Welch-Allyn, like has this like nice halogen bulb to it. You can like replace the batteries, and you can like replace the bulb if it ever goes out. Big price difference though. These things are like a few bucks. This thing is like $45. I got this thing as a gift, so I like it. But if you want it, get it. It's nice, but you don't have to. You can just deal with these. Perfectly fine. There is a benefit, though, I'll say. Having both is kind of nice. Like, when I'm in any clinic, I just like using this one because it's nicer and it kind of lights up really well. But when I know I'm going to be like in the ER or I'm going to be somewhere where I'm like throwing my jacket around, I'll just put this one in there just because I don't want to lose my good one. And, I won't be able to watch it. So things get lost in the hospital. Kind of nice to have both. But if anything, just pick one. Doesn't really matter. If you're fancy and you can get someone to pay for it and get this one, or if you just buy it yourself, who cares? But for the most part, most people will have these little cheap dinky ones, but these do kind of burn out. They're not great. Some students will have like this like white LED. I think they got them from like Home Depot or somewhere. It's like a really bright flashlight practically. It is like a pen light still, but I don't like those too much because I had a few students like just do it on me just so I can see what it feels like, and like you get this like afterglow effect. It's a very bright light. I think if it's like a sharp white LED, it might not be the best to shine in someone's eyes, but that's my opinion on that one. Before we get to these, so just the bare essentials. So stethoscope, pen lights, those we talked about. The third, this might be more important than anything, having cheap pens. For my channel, like I make reviews about fountain pens and like these fancy roller balls that I like. Why am I carrying these cheap little, what are these called? Bic grip pens. Why? Why don't I have anything nice in my pocket? The reality is, I used to carry around like this nice, what's this called? A Parker Jot around with me, and this is my second one. I lost my first one. So when you carry nice pens, things just kind of get lost. Like you're riding around, like you're at the station, you're going to go see your patient, you leave things around, other people borrow your stuff, you're too busy to remember where it went, they never see you to give it back. So it's nice just to have like an array of cheap pens like in your pocket, so when someone wants to ask for one, you can just let them use yours, and if they forget to give it back, you don't see them, whatever, it's not a big deal, you don't feel bad, you just get rid of the pen, get a new one. And it's not bad to have a variety of colors. Like when I take notes or do my scut sheets, I do make this like differentiation in color. I just use the black and the blue. I don't know why I have this one. Black and the red, I mean. So have some cheap pens. People will be asking you as a medical student for pens all the time. It almost feels like that's one of your jobs as a medical student to have pens ready for other people. It's a funny joke, but the point being, people need pens, and hey, if you have one, it just makes their life easier. Why not? And if you have little cheap ones you don't care about, you can just get new ones. So there you go. So now to more of like the fancy medical supplies. Reflex hammers. Neurology service will make a big thing out of this. What kind of reflex hammer do you have? I have this one. Link below if you want to check it out. But I don't remember what it was called. Sorry. I think it's like the Schrohorn flex hammer. But there's different types. You can get like this one, which is like a hammer. It's very heavy. It has like this thing to do it to the scraping, like on the bottom of the foot for the Babinski sign. It has like a nice feel to it. It's all made out of stainless steel. It's kind of heavy. It's got some weight to it. So I liked this one for that reason, and I found that the reason why, actually, I'll tell you why. The reason why I bought this one as opposed to the other ones, you can get like the tomahawk version, which is kind of like a triangle one, which most offices will have, and you can get this other one that's kind of like the circular one with like this long rod on it. All below you can see, or you can get this one with the plastic handle. I chose this one with the metal handle because when I was on neurology, I played with the reflex hammers of whoever was around, and I just liked the way this one felt. And more importantly than anything, I was able to get good reflexes. So if I were, like, personally for me, when I was using the tomahawk, really hard to get a good reflex. Didn't have much weight. The bias at my school with neurology services, they kind of like these better anyway, so they probably biased me into it. But it does feel better, and I do get better reflexes, so I recommend this one. But play with the reflex hammers you can find on the wards. Ask people to borrow theirs for a little bit and see what it's like, and pick the one that's best for you. But all listed below, so you can kind of play around and read the reviews on like the internet or what people are picking. But I like this one; it works well. A little heavy, but I kind of like the weight to it, and it looks like a hammer, which is kind of fun. Tuning fork. No, we're not pianists. No, we're not instrumentists, but you do need a tuning fork. 128. I guess it's a C, but the key. What it sounds like, it vibrates. Why do you need it? Do you absolutely need it? That's the question. If you want to perform a proper neuro exam, it's nice to have. Reflex hammer will check reflexes and check various signs by using the bottom of this little Sharpie point. Vibratory sensations checked with 128 hertz reflex tuning fork. Excuse me. So when we were in neurology service, they told us, like, you guys need to have a reflex hammer, you need to have a tuning fork, and you need to have an ophthalmoscope. Because, what do they say? You can't, the neuro exam is not complete until you've checked reflexes, you've checked vibratory sensation to be intact, and you've done a fundoscopic exam. Unless those three things are done, you have not done a full neuro exam. And I was like, okay, I was digging the neuro rotation, a lot of fun, and I was like, I like this, and like, you've seen from the video on the physical exam I have, like, we just enjoyed the physical exam. It's just something I kind of love. And I was like, I want to do a proper neuro exam. I have, like, this time on neurology. I want to learn it well. So I was like, whatever. I'll get a good hammer and I'll get this tuning fork. It's like $10, not the end of the world. And so I can do a proper exam. It came in really handy later when I was doing my outpatient rotation, and the attending I was working with was like, hey, can you do a neuro exam on this patient? And I was like, yeah. And then he like stops me before I go in the room. He's like, wait, do you have a tuning fork? And I was like, got it right here, man. I'm good to go. And he's like, good. So out of random example, but like having the proper tools is kind of seen as being nice. He should have had one like in the clinic, like in a drawer somewhere, and he did. But the point being, you don't always have it around. It's like $10. People like it when you have it. And if you want to do like a thorough neuro exam, it's nice to have. You just hit it, you should hear that tone, and it vibrates, and you can feel you put it like on people's spots. So nice to have, just part of neuro exam. Other thing neuro exam will tell you is you should have an ophthalmoscope. Now that's a terrifying thing. Ophthalmoscopes are not cheap. Welch-Allen's the main player for ophthalmoscopes. They have the coaxials, they have like the panoptic, they have the little pocket ones, and you can pick and there's other brands out there like American Diagnostics. The one I use called Optis, it's like this little one. You go like this, you just turn it on, and is it on? No, is it on? There you go. Is it on? Oh, yeah, it's on. There's like a little light to it, and the nice thing is there is no dial to fix, and every time I'll take a Welch-Allen off the clinic wall, and I'll use it to look at someone's eye, then I'll just take this one out and take a quick look. Every time I get a better view with this. It's a larger view, and it's more clear. There's no riff-raff with the left and right clicky, and really, even when you do use a Welch-Allen, you kind of adjust for the focus, it barely helps. I mean, it does help, but it's not the end of the world. So I recommend this one, the Optis. I put a link to the website. It's from the UK, so you're going to have to pay like shipping, sorry. Yeah, it's called the Optis by Ophthalmos. Clever name, come on, they're playing off Opto. But anyway, so this is the one that I recommend. It works really well. A lot of people in school have it. It's convenient. I also put a link to the Welch-Allen one. That one's also recommended by most people, the pocket one. So it's like small like this, but it has a little die by Welch-Allen. And you can like put in AAA batteries. This one's also AAA, so it's nice. There's no recharging, and there's no like other part to it. So that's convenient. Or you can buy a really fancy big Welch-Allen coaxial, or you can buy the panoptic. if you are gonna like really go into opto or neuro, man, buy that Panoptic. It's so nice. It's like this big, but once you see the entire retina. It's just beautiful. These, like, you can see chunks and you have to kind of like move around to zoom and see, but with that ophthalmoscope you can see the whole thing. So I recommend this one, or the pocket ophthalmoscope from Welchelen, and if you're fancy, get the big one, because why not? And all this stuff I put links so you don't have to go Googling too much, so you can find it. Let's see. Okay, so other things you will need. Everyone's going to carry this. What's it called? Maxwell's Quick Medical Reference. Everyone's going to have it. Why? Because it's just stuff that you should always know. They have like little ACLS cards. I'll tell you what I like about this. It's not actually this little emergency stuff. So it has normal lab values in the orange there. Excuse me. You can see them there with my own notes. Comes in handy because usually you'll like look on the computer for labs and it'll have, and you'll like know most of them that are kind of common, but you'll kind of forget sometimes. So it's nice to look up if you don't have that little normal range on your computer when you're looking. Normal lab values again, drug levels, helpful equations, how to write an admit note, various notes, history and physical exam, you should know that. Neurological exam, it has the whole thing in purple here, so I like that. And then it has the mini mental exam, the coma scale, the dermatomes. The other day we had a guy come in, I think he had shingles, and the attending was like, "What's the dermatomal distribution, Mom?" And I was like, "Let me look." And he didn't know himself. He's like, "Yeah, can you bring one of those dermatome maps out?" And I was like, "Right." And I was like, "Got it for you right here, Doc." Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Don't act like that's annoying. But no, really though, he was just like, "What's a dermatome?" And I'm like, "Let me double check." And he didn't know himself. He's like, "Yeah, there it is." And so we could figure it out. So you don't have to know everything. And there's like white spots in the back, like white paper. You can like take your own notes. And it has the Romberg eye chart, which you got to be at 6 feet away, which is like the bottom of the bed from the patient, which is kind of perfect. And so it has a ruler, it has your eye thing, it has keynotes, it's a couple bucks, everyone will have it. And I think they'll expect you to have it, because my attending was like, "Bring out your dermatome map," like he thought I should have one. So yeah. Other thing, this is a game changer. This, if you get nothing aside from the stethoscope from this and the pens, the only other thing you should have is this: pocket medicine. When you're on inpatient and or on outpatient, everything you need to know is in this book. People will tell, it doesn't, these tabs are mine, but it'll be like this without the tabs. And now, it's like the purple edition, so this green's the older one. The purple came out, but I think there's a wait list right now. I don't know. But I put both links to the green and purple. I don't know if there's much of a difference, to be honest with you. But the nice thing is, it just pretty much tells you what you need to know. So let's just take a random example. I don't know. Let's pick something fun. Pituitary disorder? That sounds like fun. Let's go to, ooh, seizures. Okay. So that sounds like fun. So we'll talk about, it'll go say, okay, so if you have a patient who's coming in for seizures, what is a seizure? What is epilepsy? What are the different types of seizures? How do you diagnose it? It just kind of walks you through it. What are the etiologies of a seizure, the ABCDE? What are the clinical manifestations? How do you clinically evaluate someone? What diagnostics should you order? What are your treatment ideas? How should you treat status epilepticus? So in one page, front and back, we've just gone through everything you should essentially know about seizures. It's very tight, it's very to the point, it's very clinically relevant, and it has citations to everything you need to know from like, and they usually cite like New England Journal of Medicine, so really fancy, yeah, or like JAMA. Really, really excellent. Next page here on alcohol withdrawal. Can't tell you how many times I've looked at this thing. See what protocol. Back page here is on stroke. I mean, this thing is just gold. Everyone will have one. I think this in this is just like you're kind of expected to have. It's like an unspoken thing, I think, even at sometimes. So pocket medicine, the purple one, the green one just came out. And it's so tiny, it fits into your lab coat. It's convenient. And it really has everything you need. It's kind of like taking up to date and squishing it and just taking the core of what you need. So it's nice. Last thing, what else do I have here is this. Or you can use like a small little notebook. I like these because it's kind of like this size, so it's like they kind of go together. So I can put both of them in the same pocket in the white coat. Why I like this is, like, you're always going to be taking notes to some degree, and I didn't like taking notes just on, this is a personal preference. So you can just, like, take notes and just kind of, like, keep going back, or, like, take off notes and hand them over to someone. Kind of like having a sticky note, but a little bit bigger. I got these, like, at Costco, so, like, a big box, really convenient. But it's just something I like having in the lab coat. It fits, I can take notes, I'm comfortable, it's got, like, the strong back on it, so I can just write. Note-taking, you'll be doing it constantly. People are going to tell you to remember this. People will tell you like 20 things to write down and go get set up so you can do like a paracentesis or whatever. So nice to always have notes available. And it doesn't look bad either. It's like you're ready to take notes. You're ready to work. You're ready to study and learn. So here's some basic essential supplies you'll need for third year. And I guess the last thing I'll mention, which is going to be kind of goofy and cheesy, but I think it's critical, is have a good attitude. as a medical student on the team, you are there to learn, and you're also, you're there primarily to learn. Everyone knows that. They're not going to expect you just to work like a horse, because you can't do that much. But you can learn, and you can contribute significantly to your team. Like, you can have an impact and make everyone's life easier and provide good patient care. Like, the patients will remember you as a medical student if you worked hard and like you were caring. The point being, if you have like a positive, upbeat, good attitude, you're part of a team. Remember that. It's not just you alone. So when you're part of a team and people are happy to have you around, and you're fun and you're positive and you're full of energy, willing to do whatever work they want to make the team kind of move and have the day go by faster and get more work done, you're just going to be a golden asset. You'll do better. They'll give you more responsibility. You'll get to see better patients. They'll do more to teach you because you're fun to be around. You're making it easier for them. So why not? So last thing, there is no link in the subscription for that, or link, whatever the saying is. You can't buy that one. You can't, but it's all in your mind. Have a good attitude. Be upbeat. This is third year. You've been waiting to be like a doctor. This is like where you get to act like one and be part of a team and like start becoming one. So enjoy it. Take it in. It's the best time of your life, possibly. Who knows? I'm sure it'll get better, but it's so much fun. Have fun with it, guys. As always, enjoy your studies. Have a good day. Next. This is also kind of obvious. You're going to need a pen light to some type. You can have these like disposable ones that kind of work like this, but you can kind of tell it has like a yellow hue to it. These are fine. They're disposable. I have a few of them. And you can also have like a nice one. Like I have this like nice Welchallon, like has this like nice halogen bulb to it. You can like replace the batteries, and you can like replace the bulb if it ever goes out. Big price difference though. These things are like a few bucks. This thing is like $45. I got this thing as a gift, so I like it. But if you want it, get it. It's nice, but you don't have to. You can just... What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Undergrad Forum. Now, in this episode, we're going to talk about some of the aspects of what you will need as a third-year medical student to do well in your rotations. We'll talk about simple supplies you'll need to have on you, how to present well, how to see your patients. Each of these will be a video. Today, we'll talk about what do you just need as a third-year medical student that you didn't really need during the first 2 years. First thing, you had this during the first 2 years. I made reviews before. It should be pretty obvious. You're going to need your stethoscope. There's no question. You're always going to have it like around your neck when you walk around. I keep it in my coat pocket because I don't like it around the neck. But you're always going to need a stethoscope. This is the Liftman Cardiology 3. I've made like 2 reviews on it by now. And with the bell and the diaphragm. Excellent stethoscope. Most medical students will have this one, you'll notice. Some will have the electric one, but for the most part, you won't see anything lower quality. I think the Cardiology 3 and like the Cardiology Master and the electronic one are the 3 main ones you'll see on the ward. So link below if you want to check them out. I got them all listed there for you so you can see them. So that was an obvious one, stethoscope, right? So what do you need? Some students will have like this like white LED. I think they got them from like Home Depot or somewhere. It's like a really bright flashlight practically. It is like a pen light still, but I don't like those too much because I had a few students like just do it on me just so I can see what it feels like, and like you get this like afterglow effect. It's a very bright light. I think if it's like a sharp white LED, it might not be the best to shine in someone's eyes, but that's my opinion on that one. Before we get to these, so just the bare essentials. So stethoscope, pen lights, those who talked about. The third, this might be more important than anything. Deal with these. Perfectly fine. There is a benefit though, I'll say. Having both is kind of nice. Like when I'm in any clinic, I just like using this one because it's nicer and it kind of lights up really well. But when I know I'm going to be like in the ER or I'm going to be somewhere where I'm like throwing my jacket around, I'll just put this one in there just because I don't want to lose my good one. And I won't be able to watch it. So things get lost in the hospital. Kind of nice to have both. But if anything, just pick one. Doesn't really matter. If you're fancy and you can get someone to pay for it and get this one, or if you just buy it yourself, who cares? But for the most part, most people will have these little cheap dinky ones, but these do kind of burn out. They're not great.